Raise a glass, let the worry slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for today. There's Troy laughing with his gin and a grin, telling stories about where he's been. Boomer's got whiskey, he's loosening his tie, chasing dreams under a midday sky. The bartender knows us, he's mixing with flair. Every sip's a moment we're happy to share. Liquid lunch, pour it smooth, let it flow. Friends round the table where the good times grow. Raise a glass, let the worry slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for today. The clock don't matter, we're lost in the vibe. Jazz in the air, feel the soul come alive. From martinis to bourbon, we're riding the wave. Stealing this hour, it's the freedom we crave. Sun's still shining, but we're in our zone. This bar's our shelter, our temporary home. One more round before the world calls us back. Savor the moment, keep the blues in the rack. We'll laugh, we'll toast till the afternoon fades. Memories made in these liquid escapades. Liquid lunch, pour it smooth, let it flow. Friends round the table where the good times grow. Raise a glass, let the worry slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for today. So here's to the daylight, the drinks and the fun. Our liquid lunch, till the next one comes. With a wink and a smile, we'll be back real soon. Chasing that jazz under the high noon.
Vasalut and happy weekend eve. It is Thursday, which is the day before Friday, which is the official kickoff of the weekend. I will drink to that. I hope everyone is doing well. I have so much to be thankful for today. Boy, just in the lead up to the show, let me get back into the chat so I can cover that. First, we have Big Al of Big Al Presents, who says, "Happy Thankful Thursday, Liquid Lunchers. Have a great show, Troy." Thank you very much, my friend. I super appreciate that. There is nothing in this world I am more thankful for than this woman right here. Than this woman right here. She calls me the love of her life, which I could not possibly be more grateful for. It's what I live for, to be honest with you. She says, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, become a member, gift a membership, like Jonathan Conroy does right now. He gifted five gifties. Oh, thank you so much, my friend. That helps so much. It really, really does. That went to Charlotte. It went to Looney Girl. Is that right? Looney R Girl? Welcome to membership. The Vagrancy Horror. Good to see you, Christoph. Wind Grace Project. Welcome. And welcome back to membership, Zetopia. Good to see all of you. And Jonathan Conroy goes on to say, hail all, smash the like button and enjoy the show. Yes, thank you. I will enjoy the show just a little bit more because of all those gifties. Thank you so much, Jonathan Conroy. Jamie Lynn is here. Welcome. Good to see you. And Connie Cleary, the bird woman of YouTube, and Fluff Chick Productions. Welcome. Good to see you. Netters is in a sales meeting. It happens. I understand. And the Leering Center is making Esrit donations just in time for Easter. Oh, right. Yes. So Mark had sent me a picture of the Easter decorations that have gone on sale out of the gift shop at the dilithium mines, and it was so funny. They were misspelled. It was EASRET, Eastret. Happy Eastret, everybody. The day our Lord and Savior Giatius was born. or died, excuse me. Let's go USA. Yeah, no, I'm not watching the Olympics. Those people that don't feel comfortable supporting the country but have no problem going and putting themselves on display, they can all go to hell. Yeah, that's how I feel about that right now. And I understand that's not all of them. It's just a certain few, but really has put me off the Olympics this year. Let's see here. The Bears are leaving Chicago. They absolutely should. I would if I were them. It'll be weird on a boat for St. Patrick's Day. Yep. In that green river. The river that never actually stops being green. I wish they would stop dumping dye into it. It doesn't make a lick of sense. But there you go. So a lot to be thankful for. Very thankful that Jonathan Conroy saw fit to help us in such a huge way to step a little bit closer, getting us back to 100 members, which is where I was at the beginning of the year. Very happy that Netter and I went shopping yesterday and got our shopping done. So I can focus on other things here in Casa de Picelli. And whenever Thursday comes around, I am looking not only to share with you the things I'm thankful for. I, of course, want to hear the things that you are thankful for. So please drop all that into the chat so we can talk about it. But in the meantime, I also try to bring you little bits of pop culture that I see as being, if not positive, at least thankful for a trend in the right direction. So let's kind of get into that a little bit. We'll bring up the shared screen. So we were talking about the FCC and Colbert yesterday, and now we're talking FCC launches enforcement proceedings against The View over equal time concerns. Now, keep in mind, it was the liberal-minded among the government back in its day that pushed for the FCC to not only regulate, but to regulate in a fair and equal way. Well, it all comes home to roost, doesn't it? We talked yesterday kind of in depth about this is not censorship, this is fairness. This is if you are an FCC regulated network and you operate under the auspices of the FCC, you have an obligation to be fair and impartial. So when you have a candidate come on your show to talk about their platform, you must give equal time to all of the candidates. That not only has to do with the fairness and equality of the FCC, but it also has to do with campaign finance and campaign law. So there you go. Wade says, I am thankful for Troy and for thankful that I finally got to 1.9K. Yes, we're going to celebrate today on Wade's channel. I believe that is 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. I will be hanging out with him for a little bit before Thursday Things tonight over on Netters Network. That pop you just heard was Whoopi's brain exploding at being called out. Yeah, she doesn't take too kindly to that, does she? She's all for defending democracy until she realizes she's on the wrong side of that fight. The Federal Communication Commission has officially begun enforcement proceedings involving The View, according to FCC Chairman Brendan Carr, who confirmed the move during a Wednesday appearance on Fox News. The Ingram angle. The issue? Whether ABC's long-running daytime program violated federal equal time rules by hosting a declared political candidate without offering comparable airtime to opponents. And Carr made clear this is no longer hypothetical. I'm going to point out, too, that if I am not mistaken, and I don't believe that I am, the rule is that you need to offer comparable time to the other candidates. They are free to turn you down. So the outcome might not be any different. Maybe this bloke, this candidate that they had on, might be amenable to being on your show, but the other candidates might not be because they perceive your bias. But that's their call, not ABC's. Greetings to longest running superhero RPG on Earth, CK. I am so glad to see you here. And salute to Enigma Severus. We got liquid lunch. Salute. Hail hydration. So let's get back to this a little bit. Carr stated plainly that the FCC is actively reviewing whether The View qualifies for the bona fide news exemption, the carve-out that allows legitimate news programs to host candidates without triggering equal time obligations. If you are bona fide news, you don't have to give candidates equal airtime, Carr said. But Disney and The View have not established that the program is, in fact, bona fide news. We've started enforcement proceedings taking a look at that. And again, we're going to hold broadcasters accountable. Think about that for a moment. If they were a news program, they would not have to give equal time. They just take the interview they can get, right? But because they are not specifically known as a news outlet, and they've claimed both sides over the years. They've tried to play both sides of the fence. Well, guess what? You can't play both sides of the fence anymore. There are very specific rules under the FCC for the news, and there are very specific rules for non-news shows. There are benefits on both sides, but there are also responsibilities on both sides. You don't get the benefits of both sides without the responsibilities. You got to choose. So this is going to come back to really, really bite them. Disney is not liking this. Disney is not real big on being told that they have to follow the rules like everybody else. It's amazing what happens when someone comes along and decides, this law hasn't been enforced. I'm going to do it now. So there you go. Yeah, there she is. There she is. She's reacting. I don't wanna. The enforcement action appears tied to a February 2nd appearance by Democratic U.S. Senate candidate James Talarico. This guy gets around, doesn't he? This guy, we were just talking about him. He's gonna really hurt every channel he's on right now. Under FCC regulations, it is legally, if a legally qualified candidate is given airtime on a broadcast station, Competing candidates are entitled to equivalent opportunity unless the program qualifies as a legitimate news coverage. That's a huge point. The View is produced by ABC News and frequently discusses politics, but it is structured in a daytime panel talk show built around opinion, commentary, and lifestyle segments. Carr's position signals that the FCC may no longer automatically treat such hybrid formats as exempt. There comes a point where under government regulation, you need to choose which side of the lane you're on and abide by those rules. You don't get to pick and choose from time to time. Carr went beyond regulatory mechanics. He framed the controversy as part of a broader collapse in public trust towards legacy media institutions and credited President Trump with exposing what he described as media bias. Yeah. No one said anything about it before Trump came along, right? President Trump has been so far ahead of the curve on so many issues, on the economy, on border security, and perhaps nowhere else than he called out the legacy media for being fake news, Carr said. And yesterday, the American people got to see that on full display. It's why people have more trust and faith in gas station sushi today than they do in the legacy news media. That's not just being hyperbolic. There was a study that actually, well, two different studies that compared a marketing study that compared people's opinions about the safety of gas station sushi to another study about the trust that people had in the media. And I want to real quick stop and say hi to Mikey and Suze, who stopped in to say hi. I'm not sure which one it is or if it's both, but hello to both. Just to say. Yes. So, and honestly, keep in mind too that sushi does not mean raw fish. That's sashimi. That's something that's very different. Sushi is usually in some way cooked or blanched. So that sushi actually means on a bed of rice. So when you get that little chunklet of rice with a piece of fish or vegetables or whatever it is, and especially wrapped in a little bit of seaweed, that is sushi. Sashimi is literally raw slices of fish. That they use the words interchangeably, but they are not the same thing. What you are getting when you go to the grocery store, when you go to the gas station, is not sashimi. It is sushi. So just keep that in mind. If you want sashimi, if you want raw fish, you pretty much want to go to a good Japanese restaurant or at a lot of Japanese shopping locations. They'll have vendors, storefront type vendors serving, and you see them prepare the sashimi directly in front of you. But you're probably just fine with whatever sushi that you get, as long as you read the label. It tells you when it was made and how long it's been sitting out, and it's usually kept in a refrigerated environment. If you were to prepare fish sticks, and when you're done with them, put them in the fridge, they would keep a couple of days, probably just fine. You probably don't want to keep them much longer than that. And I'm talking about highly processed fish, let alone fresh fish that has been properly prepared. Anyway, gotten completely off on a tangent here. So let's get back to this. Carr went beyond regulatory mechanics. He framed the controversy as part of a broader collapse in public trust towards legacy media institutions and credited President Trump with exposing, oh, yeah, I guess I already said all of this and the whole sushi thing. Earlier in the week, Colbert told viewers that CBS had blocked him from airing an interview with Tallarico because of Carr's recent public warnings about equal time enforcement. So, ding dong, the two things are connected. They absolutely are. They're going, oh, gee. So the View is getting looked at. Maybe we should back off on this. So when Colbert said, well, they approved everything. Yes, they did. And then this happened. And then they said, wait a minute, we're not going to air this. We are potentially coming under FCC scrutiny. Let's not poke the bear. And that upset Colbert. See what I did there? I didn't even plan it. CBS denied that characterization, stating it did not pull the interview, but instead advised producers on legal guidelines given Carr's evolving interpretation of how the rules apply to late night programming. Carr seized on the back and forth as evidence of political theater. It's not political theater. It is, in fact, enforcement. And there are some questions as to whether or not The View or The Colbert Show constitute news or commentary entertainment. And they have to decide that. And depending on how they decide is going to have consequences for you. So maybe start taking it seriously. He argued the controversy ultimately benefited Tallarico, not harmed him. That's probably true. That probably is true. I didn't know the name Tallarico before these incidents. Not that I would have voted for him anyway, just saying. Assuming that he was running for something I could vote for him, which I don't believe is the case. Oops. Carr pointed to what he described as a tangible political payoff, a significant fundraising spike for Tallarico in the wake of the media attention. According to Carr's remarks, the heightened visibility follows the Colbert dispute helped drive more than $2 million in campaign donations, which to me would imply something very unfair to the other candidates, which is exactly what the FCC is getting at with this. Think about it. Think about it. He then escalated the accusation further. This was all about a political candidate trying to get attention and clicks, he said, and the news media ran with it like lemmings. They just ate it up. If the FCC ultimately determines that The View does not qualify for bona fide news, the implications extend far beyond one daytime panel. Broadcast networks could face mandatory equal airtime requirements for candidate appearances and legal risk for entertainment adjacent political interviews. Yeah. Oh, remember that face she gave when she was given the legal note to read? It sucks when you can't just make up crap and say whatever the hell you want to say. Notably, equal time rules apply to broadcast networks, not cable channels or streaming platforms, raising additional questions about how enforcement could reshape the competitive landscape of political media exposure. For now, the proceedings are in the early stages. No penalties have been issued. No formal ruling has been announced, but the message from Carr is unmistakable. The FCC is actively reviewing legacy broadcast programs that function as political platforms, and it is prepared to test where the news exemptions end. I find that incredibly, incredibly interesting. I miss being in Japan. The fish was always fresh. You can still get fresh fish here in the United States, but obviously you have to live on one of the two coasts. Some of the freshest fish I ever had in my life was at Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco when I visited back in the 80s, I think it was. Late 80s. Let's see. I graduated in 89. So it was probably late 80s, early 90s. Back when you could still see the Presidio. For those of you that are Star Trek fans, among other things that it appeared in. Well, The View should be canceled and Colbert can sit his ass down. Well, Colbert is going to be canceled. He's on his way out. The View is circling the drain. There is very little doubt about that. So this is that midpoint that I usually, for those of you that aren't here on a regular basis, I kind of let you know what we got coming up, so I don't just drone about it at the end of the stream, because that's boring. I think the promos are far more interesting. And then when we come back to the other side, we've got some other things that I want to share with you. I don't have an article about this one, and this is about all I'm going to say about this. But apparently there's been a little bit of a shakeup in the British royal family. I wonder why. I'm thankful that justice is being served somewhere. At least one high-profile name. Maybe more will come. Maybe the U.S. will start following suit. We will see. And we will see about some other things right after the promos. Give me about 3.5 minutes, and we'll be right back.
You are watching Liquid Lunch, streaming every weekday at noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. Let's sip together.
This week on Saturday Night at the Movies. After stealing a mysterious orb in the far reaches of space, Peter Quill becomes the main target of a manhunt led by Ronan the Accuser. To fight Ronan and save the galaxy, Quill creates a team of space heroes to save the galaxy, calling themselves, surprisingly, the Guardians of the Galaxy. This Saturday night at 9 Central, 10 Eastern, on Netter's Network Retro Cinema.
Every Sunday evening, Aged Boomer and Last Call with Troy Pacelli bring you the rundown of the week's geek news, or at least what they think is interesting. You may have heard about it elsewhere, but Boomer and Pacelli spin it like only two old geezers can. It's Geeky Geezers, every Sunday evening at 8 Central, 9 Eastern.
This week on Last Call presents Doctor Who. The Doctor and Susan supply Marco Polo with water condensed inside the TARDIS, saving the group from dying of thirst. When the caravan reunite with Tegana, the travellers begin to suspect something. Then the TARDIS crew manage to rescue Barbara from the Mongols, but Marco remains unaware of Tegana's involvement. It's part 2 of the reconstruction of the Marco Polo missing episodes, Sunday at 11:30 p.m. Central, 12:30 Eastern.
Hello. While you're here, please visit our merch store where you can get cute t-shirts just like this. Link in the description below. Or use this QR code on your mobile device. Hope you find something you like. Every Monday night is Members Night at the Movies on Last Call. Members enjoy an exclusive watch party just for them, and you can join too for as little as $1.99 a month. This week on Last Call, the topic is AI, a topic very dear to my heart. So the members are choosing between 4 AI-themed films for the Monday night feature. Members, be sure to get over to the community tab and vote for your favorite. And if you're not a member, please consider it. It really helps support what we do here at Last Call. Thanks. This week on Live from Sparkwood and 21, there won't be a rewatch. Rather, the superfans will be doing a deep dive discussion of the pilot episode we watched this past week. There was just too much to say in one stream. Join us this Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Central, 8:30 Eastern on Deleted Scenes and Affiliates.
Holmes receives a surprise visit from the Prime Minister, asking his assistance in the recovery of a sensitive diplomatic letter stolen from a diplomat's home. Can Holmes recover this letter so incendiary that it might lead Great Britain into war if published? We'll find out this Tuesday at 9 Central, 10 Eastern on Last Call presents The Return of Sherlock Holmes.
We now return to our liquid lunch.
Welcome back. Glad you could stay with me. Or in the case of Penny, she could join us. So glad you're here, Penny. Always wonderful to see you. Moving on to another topic right now, something I am thankful for. Sometimes you can be thankful for things that don't happen. There was a song by, I want to say that it was Garth Brooks, I think. Sometimes I thank God for unanswered prayers. Sometimes you can be thankful for the things that do not happen. And in this case, Star Wars Marvel crossover rumors shot down by THR. But that's the Hollywood Review. But Deadpool creator says Disney has 100% heard the pitch. Well, I'm sure somebody's made such a pitch. It doesn't mean that anything like this is going to happen. A wild rumor lit up the comic book world this week, one that on paper felt almost inevitable given modern franchise cross-pollination. But according to industry trade reporting, fans may want to pump the brakes, at least for now, on Star Wars Galaxy, meaning the Marvel Universe. Reports began circulating that Marvel Comics was developing a full-scale Star Wars Marvel crossover event, potentially even involving the Avengers. I'm sorry, I find this so preposterous. With Kingsman creator Mark Miller attached to write the project, the idea alone was enough to send social media into overdrive, with speculation running rampant about which heroes might clash on or team up with characters from the galaxy far, far away. But the excitement didn't last long. According to follow-up reporting, the crossover chatter appears to have been premature and, if not outright false, yes. The Hollywood Report bluntly summarized while replaying the trade update in another example of the internet being stupid. I don't normally agree with the Hollywood Reporter so much, but yes, that I do. A rumor spread about a Star Wars Marvel Avengers crossover comic book, to be written by Love Him or Hate Him author Mark Miller. Not necessarily one of my favorites. It was like Alderaan exploding all over again. In any case, we're hearing it's not true. So have some blue milk and cookies. I've got to say that, and those would be Wookiee cookies. Just saying. If it had just been a comic book, I don't think I would care so much. But let's face it, I think when you hear crossover, you're thinking movie franchises. But we've seen some pretty bizarre comic book crossovers. Let's just set aside all of the DC Marvel crossovers there have been throughout the years. There has also now been Doctor Who Star Trek crossovers. There have been various superhero Star Trek crossovers. So I would not put it past Disney to try doing a Marvel Heroes Star Wars crossover in, again, the comics. These are generally considered to be non-canon alternate universe, whatever you want to call them, else worlds, what ifs. But I don't think I'm going to go too much more into this one. You can obviously read this one over at that Park Place. Link for everything. Every time I bring up an article, you will find the link in the description below. So go check out that Park Place and read up on this for yourself if you're interested. I think the bottom line is it's not happening. That is something to be thankful for. Now, another thing that I have been thankful for, that I've been pretty open about, is, at least for the past year or so, there are things about this administration that I'm not pleased with. Promises made, promises not kept. You could say yet. But remember, when you have things like statutes of limitations ticking away, there comes a point where, after a certain point, there will be no justice in certain areas. But one area of the current administration is doing very, very well. Not recommended for human consumption label may be required on chips and candies in Texas. And not just in Texas. This may be coming countrywide. We'll get into that in just a moment. But I think I need to zoom in because that's kind of small. There we go. A bill sitting on the desk of Texas Governor Greg Abbott could force the food industry to digest the Make America Healthy Again movement. Texas Senate Bill 25 would require foods containing certain ingredients to have warning labels on their packaging. Some chips, candies, and sodas would be required to bear the following label. Warning, this product contains an ingredient that is not recommended for human consumption. Imagine that. Don't know if I had brought it up on a previous stream, but apparently there was a recent study of various candies that proved to be toxically high in arsenic. In arsenic. Yeah, you better believe that the health department is going to be looking into that. The federal branch. I don't mean the guys that come and check to make sure you're washing your dishes sufficiently in the restaurant. But that's pretty amazing. There are 44 ingredients listed, such as synthetic food dyes and bleached flour. M&Ms would need the labeling in question, as they contain red 40, yellow 6, and blue dye 1 and 2. Let me ask you a question, my friends. How important is it to you that you have all kinds of multicolored M&Ms? Would they not taste just as good if they did not have artificial dyes in them? If it was just chocolate with a, candy coating that was white or, translucent, brownish, I'd be good with that. I would be perfectly fine with that, especially if I knew, it didn't contain a cancer-causing dye. Yeah. I got you a bag of Jolly Ranchers, Troy. Yeah. Trying to kill me? Yeah, trying to kill me, my friend. Yeah, no. It's amazing. And some of these dyes that are technically legal in the United States are banned in many, many other countries. No wonder we have health problems here in the United States. No wonder some branded foods in other countries, people have actually said taste better. Why is it that people like Mexican Coke more? Why is it that you can go and buy multiple different kinds of Kit Kats in Japan, and even when you get the standard normal kind that you get here in the United States, people say they actually taste better? The chocolate tastes better in other countries. I wonder why. I wonder indeed. And yet, there are foods that are not allowed in the United States that are known to have beneficial health effects, such as sassafras. Did you know that I think since the 60s, you cannot get sassafras to make soups or to make your own home root beer? Look into it and look into why. Because the chemical that is in sassafras is in many other things too. So why aren't all of those things banned as well? Look into it. After my sister had breast cancer, she now stays away from dyes and processed foods. Yeah, that is kind of like, I'm sorry to say this, but it's kind of like the horse getting out of the barn and then closing the door. It's like my grandfather was diagnosed with inoperable lung cancer, and he quit smoking instantly. It's like, why bother now, dude? But it does send a loud, clear message to the rest of the family. Don't do this anymore. It will kill you. It will shorten your life. There is no food that tastes as good as being healthy feels. Remember that. Geek Flag with Nate Knows. Welcome, my brother. He says, "Hey, Troy, I tried to send you a super chat twice, and it didn't go through. I don't see it on the screen, and I went and checked my account, and it didn't come out." Yeah, then it absolutely did not go through, which tells me usually that has something to do with your card. It may have to do with your card, your bank, or whatever the case is. It could be YouTube, but just saying. But you could also try to send me a Rumble rant. I am live. I am always multi-streaming my liquid lunches over on the Green Machine as well. So that is an option. Keeping in mind, too, that the Green Machine does give the channel a little bit higher percentage than YouTube does. YouTube takes 1/3 of every super chat, where it's much less than that for Rumble. Whatever's easiest for you. But then again, please don't feel obligated. You are a huge supporter of the channel. You're already a channel member, for crying out loud. So you are a constant supporter of the channel. Not to mention the audiovisual product that you provide to help out with my streams, which will play into tomorrow's last call with Troy and Age of Boomer. Stovocor Candy Company. Today is a good day to die. D-Y-E. That's funny. That only works in English, though. Wouldn't work in Klingon. But yeah, there you go. So I also have, and I want to point out, link to the channel Lily Kane, and specifically a video of hers that goes into much greater detail about this whole regulatory thing, the dyes, and whatnot, and why it's so important. And maybe check out her channel while you're there too. She talks a lot about health and diet and these kinds of matters. So check her out. Okay, I just tried it again, and it came back. This purchase was already made. That's coming from YouTube. Okay, then it's a YouTube problem. It's a YT problem. So I apologize about that. I'm very, very sorry. Which reminds me another thing. You could also, yep. In the link below, of course, there is the Buy Me a Drink link, just to do PayPal if you want to do that. And remember, PayPal 100% goes to the channel, but it might also be a great way for you to just double check to make sure that your card is working okay, and confirm that it's not a YouTube thing. But anyway, so yeah. So let me get back to this because I wanted to get a little bit more into this. Trix cereal contains blue 1 and red 40, while Doritos chips have red 40 and yellow 6 and 5. You don't got to apologize to me, Troy. You got to make sure YouTube isn't stiffing you. Oh, no, yeah, absolutely. And that's why, that is the only reason, too, that when you guys have a problem, I ask you to double check and make sure that if something had come up and I didn't see that come through, double check and make sure you were not charged, because I don't want you to get basically money stolen from me from YouTube. If you want to give me money and make a contribution to the channel, that is absolutely fair. If what you want out of it is to support the channel, you should be able to do that. But you should not lose money to YouTube, because I'm guessing that's not what you want to do. You're not trying to finance YouTube. Eat all your chemical-laden foods you need for Soylent Green. Yeah, exactly right. That's exactly right. So, and what I wanted to say is the mention of Doritos reminds me that almost a year ago, Robert Kennedy Jr. called together a lot of the food companies and said, "This is coming. You can get in on it. You can get ahead of it and start complying voluntarily, or you can wait and then get hit all at once with the regulations." So if Doritos still has dyes and whatnot in their food that they shouldn't be, that's on them. It's not like this is a surprise to them. If signed into law, and here's the other thing. Why does it matter in Texas if you don't live in Texas? Well, the reason is it affects their distribution model. They're not going to label something in Texas and then, they might try to do this, label something in Texas under Texas law and then not do that in every other state. It's cheaper to just change your labeling to include that for everyone, especially if other states start to adopt this law. They're going to have to. So just saying. Frito-Lay rep told me things are being changed in a big way with snack recipes. Good. It's about time. This is something I am very, very thankful for. The bill states that the ingredients that should be disclosed are any artificial color, food additive, or other chemical ingredient banned by Canada, the European Union, or the United Kingdom. I don't hold those countries to a higher standard, but they are at least a minimum standard that we should be following. If there's something that they find objectionable, we should be looking at why. Look, for all the globalists out there that want no borders and want us to be all one big, beautiful, kumbaya kind of world, the only way that's going to work is to kind of start some kind of reciprocal communication and look at the laws of other countries and go, why? Why are you doing this? If the answer to that question is something objectionable, then we're not going to do it. But if they're doing something that is good for their people, that is good for health, why aren't we doing it? Why are we putting corporations ahead of people? Why do we have a division of the Government Regulatory Commission specifically for health that does the opposite, that cares nothing about your health and cares more about the pocketbooks of big pharma, big agriculture, and food companies? Why? I don't know the answer to that. Well, I mean, I know the answer to that, but I want you to come to that answer for yourselves. And hopefully, this kind of labeling will cause you to look at it and go, you know what? Maybe I don't need this. Nope. Analysis behind the legislation found that 73% of the U.S. food supply is considered ultra-processed, with Americans' diet consisting of 57% consumption of ultra-processed food, shown to be linked to depression, obesity, type 2 diabetes, cancer, and cardiovascular disease. Gee, all the leading causes of death in this country. Imagine that. I'm waiting for the lizard aliens to reveal cancer has already been cured. Well, sure, cancer's already been cured, but you keep taking the cause voluntarily. That's the problem. Stop eating the crap, and you won't get the cancer. Not all cancers, but just saying. In January, the FDA banned red dye 3, listed in the bill, from foods after being linked to cancer, as Fox News digitally previously reported. So they gave you a link on that. The Consumer Brands Association, which represents major food manufacturers such as General Mills and PepsiCo, are urging Abbott to veto the bill. Why? Because it impacts your pocketbook, not because it would be what's best for the people of Texas and the people of our country. Screw you, General Mills. Screw you. The labeling requirement of SB 25 mandate, inaccurate warning language, create legal risks for brands and drive consumer confusion and higher costs. Yeah, in other words, we were told this was okay. It's okay for you to keep taking these foods and being obese and having heart problems and cancer and type 2 diabetes. Don't impact our profit margins, please. We'll sue you over that. Yeah, well, what I want to see is the regulation come and say, yeah, you know what? No, this is directly causing this. And you know what? We're going to open it up so people can start suing you when they are sick and dying from your foods. How's that? How's that? We won't market anymore, but we'll let people know. So you don't have to put a label on it, but they can sue you from now on if you use these products. Your choice. The industry is committed to transparent bullshit. And has invested in product transparency tools that help. Oh, you mean like natural flavors? Natural flavors. What are the natural flavors? Well, we can't tell you. That's a trade secret. Yeah, that's real transparent. It's real transparent. What does it even mean, natural flavors? If we knew what those natural flavors were, would we still want to eat the food? He added, no industry is more committed to safety than the makers of America's trusted household brands. That sounds like marketing spin. That's a lie. The ingredients used in the U.S. food supply are safe and have been rigorously studied following. And just like how tobacco was rigorously studied and their carcinogenic properties were hidden by the tobacco companies for years. Sorry, I don't trust corporations. Verify. Show me the proof. In April, Fox News Digital asked U.S. Health Resource Secretary Robert F. Kennedy about how America will be able to identify products that comply with the phase-out of petroleum-based dyes. Petroleum-based dyes. Oil, gasoline, natural gas. These are not foods. Yet their derivatives are being put into our foods. That's poison. That is not fit for human consumption. Just saying. More on that. You can check out this article, or even better still, check out the video that I mentioned down below by Lily Kane. Right? I tell you all that I want you to be healthy, and if you're not healthy, get healthy. Here's a great place to start. This is a great place to start. I beg you to pay attention to this. If nothing else, we learned that if you are going to trust the science, you got to trust all the science. Don't just believe the science that's coming to you from pharmaceutical companies and food companies that have a profit motive in you believing their data. Because when you go outside the country, you find out that, we're finding a problem with this so-called vaccine or this additive in your food or this medical process. Don't pay attention to that science. Pay attention to ours that we paid for. Yeah. Speak for yourself, Troy. As a self-identified transformer, petroleum is delicious. There you go. I mean, it's not fit for human consumption. Doesn't say anything about transformer consumption. Let's be clear about that. So anyway, I want to thank all of you for being here. It is important to me that you be healthy, and that's why I do consistently talk about topics like this. It's important for me and my family, and I consider you to be part of my family. So my friends, go out, do your thing, but do it in the safest, healthiest way possible. Stay hydrated, because hail hydration, that's part of being healthy. Drink responsibly, because that's also part of being healthy. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you all on the next one, which is tonight on Netters Network. Salute, my friends.
Goodbye. Hope to see you again real soon.
Here's to the daylight, the drinks and the fun, our liquid lunch, till the next one comes. With a wink and a smile, we'll be back real soon, chasing that jazz under the high